you want to say, I am back, this is the Ramu you knew, and this is still the Ramu I am?
Yeah.
Can I ask you, where were you exactly on that day when the Sridevi tragedy happened, and what did you feel? How did you react? How did you process
So
it?
I felt it almost like a part of me went away.
You used to hear stories of Ramayan from your grandmother,
Yeah.
and you used to find faults in that and ask a lot of questions.
Questions about why would Hanuman so blindly devoted towards Ram? And when he left Sita after the allegations, what kind of a man will do that?
The recent gangster, the Lawrence Bishnoi, that man also started fascinating you.
I don't believe Underworld as an organization can ever come back. See, if Amitabh Bachchan was 1 foot shorter, I'm not sure he would become that great a star. If Shah Rukh was 1 foot taller, I don't think he would have become a star.
What went wrong in the Vivek's career? Because he has been very vocal about the fact that it was his fight with Salman.
Shah Rukh is like such a vibrant actor. I thought it won't work for the film.
You're going to Sarkar 4. Abhishek is in it, but there's no Ash.
No.
Why is like that?
Vishal said some dummy lyrics. I like those lyrics better than what Gulzar Saab wrote.
Somebody who worked with you and who was a part of Satya, Anurag Kashyap, you have had a love-hate relationship with him. But before,
See, I love him, he hates me. I don't have love-hate.
some of us feel that a movie like Chhava, a movie like Dhurandhar, or even Kashmir and Kerala Files, which you have spoken about highly, are propaganda films. And by propaganda films, I mean that they are films to appease the establishment. People said that Ramu is having an affair with Urmila. How much of truth is in that?
Whole boycott Bollywood movement which happened at Sushant time, then suddenly they'll forget it one day.
Which is the worst film you have made according to you?
The worst film I made would definitely be.
Do you think there is Godi media in the entertainment industry? Ram Gopal Varma ji, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है the Vickey Lalwani show पर. I've been waiting to do this interview with you for a very long time. And yesterday when I texted you, after seeing your picture at WTF with Mayank Shekhar, my friend, I thankfully got a message from you saying that, but something as wacko as you are was written, I'm dead.
So I basically hate predictable answers, Yeah, I'm here. How are you? How are you doing? Did you have your breakfast? I can't stand those conversations. So I'll always try to put some spice in the answer. I said I'm dead and I'm living in the east corner of hell.
Okay, so I'm here in the east corner of hell with you.
Yeah.
And I have been seeing your interviews, and I feel somehow, it's my personal observation, that you want to say enough of this.
Yeah.
I am back. I'm not going to use the word 2.0. This is the Ramu you knew, and this is still the Ramu I am.
Yeah. I'm not very sure the second line, still the Ramu. See, the point is, it goes, without saying that people change with their experiences, change with times or whatever, technology changes you and so many things, But I think a drastic change happened to me when I was watching Satya 25 years later, when it re-released a year back or something, So I think it's like, it was like a hard punch in my gut, Like the filmmaker Ridley Scott said, when you see a film after a very long time, you almost feel you haven't made it, because like I said, you grow or you change or whatever it is, Then I felt the amount of respect I had for the characters and the emotion of the film, and I understood it in a very different way compared to when I made it. And strangely, that is extending even to my way of watching other films also. When I revisited Godfather after 50 years, this time I took something completely different from what I thought it was for all these years, I'm saying. Yeah. So then I took a decision, whatever remaining years I have, it is about intention. Whether you can make it happen or not, nobody can tell, But if your intention is to do something really larger than life, really something provoking in terms of whatever, just to make one more film is different from just to make the film, let me do that, something like that struck, and here I am. So, but the old English line says the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So, all of us will find out, including me, whether I mean what I'm saying or whether I can do or not.
But वो पिक्चर देखने के बाद सत्या दूसरी बार और न्यू टाइम आपको ऐसे लगा कि हेल दिस इज मी और ये मैंने बनाया है और मैं इतने साल अपने आप को क्या कर रहा था?
Yes, that is what strongly I felt that. See, ऐसा हुआ कि जब मैं ये मैंने बनाया, of course मैंने बनाया. The point is जो mind state more than anything the empathy उसका एक characters का creation मैंने कैसे किया, किसको देखा, किसके inspiration से मैंने किया. There are so many things went through my mind while I was watching and thinking about it. So the point, I give simple example. See, सत्या एक ऐसी है ना, अंडरवर्ल्ड के लोग के बारे में हम सुनते हैं, कब सुनते हैं? या तो वो किसी को मारता है, या तो वो मर जाते हैं पुलिस के एनकाउंटर में या गैंग फाइट्स में, ऐसा कुछ. बीच में क्या करते हैं वो लोग? तो मेरा इंटेंशन था कि टू गिव a first hand view about what the underworld people really are. एक रिंग साइड में नज़दीक में उनको घरों में घुस के बीवी के साथ क्या बात करते हैं, उसका रिलेशनशिप्स कैसे होते हैं, उसके दोस्त फ्रेंडशिप कैसा होता है, विच इज़ वॉट आई वॉन्टेड टू एक्सप्लोर. सो दैट मेक्स इट वेरी लार्ज इन टर्म्स ऑफ ordinary people in extraordinary situations. But then after that, I make count. Why? I just felt like doing it. It is not like, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong in making count or not. But if I made Satya, I think I should have made something bigger than that. So मेरा माइंड ऐसा था कि अभी ये पिक्चर को बनाने I felt like I do it without having. So it is a mix of arrogance and carelessness. Arrogance ये है कि you're taking it for granted. Carelessness is about not bothering about the consequences. ये दोनों का बीच में something started growing in me without even me consciously. I didn't realize. See, I believe I'm an intelligent man. But intelligent man can be an idiot much more than the idiot guy becoming because of these two factors. Whatever मैंने अभी जो बोला था.
But you are taking the example of Khan, but then you again made some very good movies.
No, fine. लेकिन मेरा point ये है कि all my hit films are accidents and all my bad films are by intent. इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर मेरे को अच्छा पिक्चर बनाने आता है, why will I make a बुरा film? That doesn't make sense, ना? If I know what can make a Satya or a company or a booth or whatever work or a Rangila, why would I make a film which won't work? Because I only make a film. Whether it becomes this or that is in the audience's hands, not. But was there my intention genuinely there in the bad films I made? I am not sure about that. Which is what I consciously realized when I saw Satya again.
Which is the worst film you have made according to you?
The worst film I made would definitely be Aag. Yeah, I would say closely followed by Department. And both those films are the ones where I spent the maximum in my career, maximum time and money also.
I want to now get into your head because these years, you have had a layoff, you were not here, you were in Hyderabad, sometimes you were here, you were putting out controversial tweets. Left, right, center, and everybody wondered, what has gone wrong with this man? Yeah. Somebody even wrote that today Ramu's preference is sex, alcohol, and movies in that order. When you came to parties, people said he's had a drink and come. People started. Maybe I would say mocking at you.
Yeah.
Were you aware of all this?
Yes, of course. See,
and you still allowed it to happen?
Yeah, see, to start with, which is the truth of even today, even after my so-called change or whatever my seriousness I was talking about, I was always very open on my Twitter. Ever since I joined Twitter, which is around 15 years back, I always made controversial statements. But now my long absence from the Hindi industry, and that somewhere I am far off and they don't see me and they only seeing me through Twitter, through my controversial tweets or maybe a video here or something, I make a comment on someone, they formed a personality, which is not the truth. I'm not like that. I've also been busy doing some Telugu films, some political films and things like that. But people to feel that is right. See, if I'm making a controversial tweet at night at 10 o'clock, they will think obviously I'm high on alcohol. Obviously, they would think that, And if you look at my drunk videos, they were actually put by me. It is not like somebody shot. Because I am a guy who's just unfiltered in terms of I don't hide anything and what I feel like I will say. And that is the reason. It's not like someone had the chance to shoot me when I'm doing something. That's not how it happened, And but when people are used to a certain kind of an accepted behavior in society where a filmmaker of some standard was and why is he behaving like this, I can understand that.
But I say that you should protect your legacy. You're a responsible citizen. Why are you?
I am not responsible at all. I'm a very selfish person, and I want to make films for the love of them, and I really don't think of it as a responsible job. So I get a high. I live on excitement. Excitement is a state of mind. It is not about मेरे को ये इसलिए करना है or for this purpose. I never thought of any film like that. When I made Satya, I wanted to discover their world. That was my curiosity. I was curious. I was fascinated. I was connecting to a certain kind of an emotional state, But what I realize now, see, when you're repeating yourself, it could be a certain film or a certain genre, you tend to start believing, ये तो मेरा दाएं हाथ का खेल है, तो मेरा बाएं हाथ का खेल है, But when you're taking a subject matter which you're not very sure, it will keep you very alert. So the complexity of this subject matter to seriously consider and take is what I want to do now.
But then you're again going to Sarkar 4.
Yeah, but Sarkar 4 this time will be completely different. It won't be like what they saw in the earlier things.
But there will be a Subhash Nagri, right?
They will be. But in the way it's made, what it deals with, and it will be on a much larger scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who's producing it?
Anand Pandit and Parag. He's original producer, yeah.
Yeah, I broke that story, in fact, that about a month ago I wrote that Anand Pandit is joining hands with you.
Yeah.
Or you are joining hands with Anand Pandit. Either way you take it. So Abhishek is in it. But there's no Ash.
No.
Why is it like that?
That you see in the film.
Okay, let's get to that point where you say, I get excitement, I'm selfish. I'm not a responsible citizen. Let's take that tweet specially, which really was criticized by a lot of people when you spoke about Kiara Advani in War 2. In that bikini shot which you put out.
Yeah.
And people said it's downright disrespectful.
I still don't
And then
understand.
you took it out. You took out that tweet.
Okay.
That was one of the few instances you took it out.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I really don't remember what exactly I wrote or what I said in the tweet because I put so many tweets and such a long time back. If you tell me, I can probably tell about that. No.
I can. If you said that if there was a war between Tiger and Hrithik about the back, and back you put in asterisks, then this movie will be a backbuster instead of saying a blockbuster.
Oh, like that.
And again, the back was in asterisks.
Yeah, I mean,
Something to this effect.
See, my whole point is, if you're putting an image like that in terms of in a trailer, a beautiful girl in a bikini or something, which is supposed to provoke something. And I would think of it as a backhanded compliment in the context of how I felt about it. And I'm always known, not now, even from the Rangila days, I never keep my comments about beautiful women under the thing. I was always open about it, even when I talked about Sridevi.
So you will continue to write, you're saying?
I will do everything the way I am. I'm not going to change myself as a person in the way I express myself, my thoughts and all that. But my cinema, I will be different.
But you took that tweet out.
I can't recall why I did that. I rarely do that, but I don't remember.
Yeah. You spoke about Sridevi. Have you met Boney Kapoor after you wrote those statements about Sridevi that you were fascinated by her thunder thighs?
Yes. Yeah, I met, of course. I mean, I keep meeting him even now. I spoke to him just a month back. Yeah.
And?
No, nothing. See, they all know me. They all know me from, God, some 30 years.
So he never broached the subject? ऐसे क्यों बात करते हो आप?
See, most of the time, when someone is not available and they're asked, ऐसा बोल दिया, know what Ramu said and all that. So that will sometimes kind of provoke them to say what is wrong with him and all that. But after that, in a phone call, it will get sorted out. That's not the context.
So you are saying it got sorted out?
Yeah.
Because you also said that Janvi से मुझे काम करने की इच्छा नहीं है क्योंकि she doesn't remind me of Sridevi.
I didn't say that. So I said, I mean, I have no project with her. That's all. I never compared her to Sridevi.
Do you think Khushi reminds you of Sridevi?
No.
You said in a recent interview that Sridevi wouldn't have been such a big star if it wasn't for her thundering thighs.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, I feel anything works in a package. You know, the very fact, much before I became a director, if the media named her thunder thighs, not me.
It was Himmatwala.
I was in college, you know. And I would like to believe in a package. It's not just about acting. She's beautiful and she's sensuous and everything together contributes. So I meant it as in a context. If Amitabh Bachchan was 1 foot shorter, I'm not sure he would become that great a star. If Shah Rukh was 1 foot taller, I don't think he would have become a star. In this whole context, I said, everything comes together in a package. And that's where I mentioned that.
Your association with women, since you're talking about right now, takes me to Urmila Matondkar. Are you planning to work with her again? Because when I saw Urmila on stage with you during the Satya function, the memories came rolling back.
See, to start with, I won't say I've never ever made a film thinking I want to work with so-and-so. Probably I only did that with Amitabh Bachchan and Sridevi. Okay. Rest of it is on the film base and what kind of film, what kind of a role. So right now I don't have anything in my mind where I would like to approach Urmila for a role.
But can I ask you, because so much has been said about that, and I mean, even when you were married and people said that Urmila is having an affair with Ramu or Ramu is having an affair with Urmila. I was just starting my journalism in those days. Everywhere I used to hear this. How much of truth is in that?
You see, my point, when I see if there was a truth, why would I not say it? And this is a long time. You're talking about 28 years. The point is, I wouldn't like to talk about anything and something which happened such a long time back, and always denied it. And that's the same thing I would do.
I want to take you back to the period after Satya. Okay. You made still some very good films. What comes closest to Satya to you after Satya? Which film?
I honestly feel nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah, nothing. I believe Satya looks almost perfect for me when I'm watching my films again. I'm not so sure about Company. And Rangila is almost 80% there. Except for these three, I'm not very sure.
But Company was fantastic.
Maybe. But see, the point is you will see it as a film, but the kind of a understanding I got of the underworld now, I'm talking about in the last 4 or 5 years, if I compare to that material, Company, I feel it's a very, very lesser.
Before I get into the details of Company, you have been saying that the underworld fascinates you in a way. I mean, you not use the word fascination. उनके घर में क्या होता है, उनके relationships क्या होते हैं. The recent gangster who's making headlines, Lawrence Bishnoi, and whether it was the attack on Salman's house, Rohit Shetty की अभी हुआ, Baba Siddiqui's murder, I don't know whether he's involved in which and what truth is to that. That man also started fascinating you because you mentioned somewhere that he's the most good-looking man. Maybe someone who's more handsome than anybody else in Bollywood.
I said that in the context of him trying to project himself as my asli hero.
As a personality.
As a personality. Giving interviews and saying things with swag and giving these threats to big stars. It's like he's looking like a self-proclaimed hero. So I was just kind of slightly mocking that aspect of it in the tweet. Obviously, I wouldn't have meant it in the sense, the way you are saying it.
But do you think he's now becoming a threat?
I don't think so. See, I don't believe Underworld as an organization can ever come back again. Even throughout history, if you look at the mafia in the US also, more or less, it keeps withering away. Individual crime is different. Organized crime with a brand name, I don't believe that exists anymore.
जो पहले था 90s
Yeah, correct. Like what you call it, D Company and Rajan Company. I don't believe that can ever come back those times. Yeah.
But industry has been talking about him, and I mean there is a lot of speculation that those days are coming back.
No, Sam, I'm saying, but there will be reason for why those things which were there at that time, those circumstances are not there. They won't come back also. See, if you look at it pre-1993 blast, the underworld was looked at in a very different way. So the film industry didn't mind mingling with them because they really didn't think of them as criminals. They thought, okay, kuch smuggling karte, or nobody really understands what it is. No. Post-93, because of the terrorism angle, and then after the Dawood Ibrahim Chota Rajan split happened, and a lot of other gangs came, and it created spate of activities between 98 and 2005. Those times, the whole thing changed, and because of that, the whole nexus, them terrorizing us and some people joining them, all that happened in that time period. Post 2010, I don't believe that exists anymore. And if you look at it, all the dons, so-called Abu Salam, Chota Shah, all of them came in the 80s and maximum up to mid-90s. You never heard a name. Now, this guy, he's in the jail and he's constantly claiming. You really don't know the connection except for the claim.
When I go back to company, I remember you wanted Shah Rukh for Ajay Devgn's role. You spoke to him, it was almost done, and then you changed your mind.
No, see, I approached him and he was very interested. But I felt, Shah Rukh is like such a vibrant actor in terms of his energy level is something else. And I always had this impression of the character slightly laid back, very composed, doesn't talk much and is silent. I somehow could imagine Shah Rukh like that. I think it would be doing a disservice to stardom to stifle him like that. That is what my impression I felt. Whereas I think Ajay naturally is like that. Ajay's almost his natural body language is like Malik. So that is the reason I changed my mind, because I thought it won't work for the film, and as much as that I think it will be a disservice to misuse Shah Rukh's stardom in a role like that.
Are you in a way saying that वो जो ठहराव था अजय के कैरेक्टर में वो शायद शाहरुख नहीं ला सकता?
I don't mean as in he's not capable as an actor to do that, but I think if as an audience try to watch him being still and not talking and just inert, I just felt it won't look good.
I get your perspective. That reminds me, Vivek's audition. I mean, he has always said that he walked into your office after you had rejected him, dressed up like a tapori, staying in a jhopadpatti, and then he came and put his legs on your table. Take us through that.
There is a slight mix-up in that. It is like half true what he's saying. I don't mean that he's lying. See, when a long time later you kind of mix up in your memories. When his father showed me his photos first. See, at that time I was even trying for Abhishek at that time. I told me Abhishek was very tied up in 4 or 5 projects and So it's going to take a long time to get to him, you know. Then when I was thinking of some new guy, then his father came, Vivek Oberoi, and he showed me my son's pictures, you know. He just looked like that to me. And I went with him to his house and I saw a small audition video, and I was convinced about him. Then once I told him all this, he worked on his look and his body language, and then he came to the office. That was not the first time I saw him.
Yeah, because he has conveyed in a way that, we have rejected him and then he proved you wrong. Okay. Are you in touch with him?
Yeah, I spoke to him just yesterday.
What do you think went wrong in his career? Because he has been very vocal about the fact that it was his fight with Salman, but such a talented actor. Ramu, do you think there are camps in Bollywood?
I do not believe that at all. There will be individuals, no camps. Everybody is only for themselves, and which is how it should be. That is what human nature is. I want to be the most successful, is what. Okay, then in a group, you might have someone because you need, in a social group, the friends you have, and you keep meeting and talking and discussing, and it will be perceived like a camp. Okay, jealousy is also inherent to human nature. You know, like if someone else is more successful, no human being can't take it. I mean, instead of looking down upon it, you have to accept it as a nature inside you. Now, at the time, what he said, what happened, I wouldn't like to get into the personal things. My study of Vivek is I just felt if he stuck close to company kind of characters, like very high intensity and that kind of aggressive nature, probably like a young Nana Patekar, you know, I thought that would have been the right route for him to continue. And you'll get some good or bad films, but they'll all kind of add to a certain thing. Instead of that, I think him getting into love stories or comedies or that digression is what I think it affected. That's my view.
Satya, Masti.
Even some of them might have done well, but I think that area, he doesn't work. At least it doesn't work for me. So I can't speak for the people.
You told him that?
Yeah, many times.
And?
But all actors want to prove otherwise. If you advise them, don't do that kind of role, they'll want to do it because, but the actor will have an ego, he'll have his passion, he'll have his, my har tarah ki role kar sakta hoon. That is why every actor, not only Vivek.
Tell me, who was your first choice for Bikku Matre in Satya?
Bikku Matre was Manoj, for sure. Because Bikku Matre was conceived only after I met Manoj. It was not like the script was already there and then I was looking around whom to cast in that. I met Manoj in Daur time, you know, and at that time I was very impressed with him as a performer. So when I thought of I make a gangster film and I wanted to cast him actually originally in the title role.
Yeah, which eventually JD did.
Yeah, so then by the time I kind of had more clarity on the script, I thought he will be more right for Bikku Matre.
So who did you want for JD that time?
No, at that time, see, the point, when after I met, I decided to make the film with Manoj. JD came later. Then once I thought of him for Bikku Matre, then because I know Chakri as an actor from the south, I took him that.
So, when it comes to Shah Rukh, did you go and tell him that, okay, I'm going ahead with Ajay?
See, this was just one meeting. It was not even like we planning it. I just kind of pitched the idea. It's not.
No, why I'm asking you this is because Mahima Chaudhary later on Satya came and said that she felt very insulted and humiliated because she had been finalized for Urmila's role.
Yeah.
And nobody informed her.
Yeah,
he was heartbroken.
See, the word finalize, I don't know is the right word. See, lots of times you keep meeting people, talking.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. So it's not like some, like dates were given, or it's not like monies have been exchanged or an agreement has been. It's just like a very casual talk at that time. Because I think I met her with Subhaji.
I want to ask you, how would Ramu consider himself as a filmmaker on a 1 to 10 scale?
I mean, that's an impossible question to answer. Because see, I would like to see, for example, I might see a film and I might not like it. It could be a very big hit, or the vice versa. I like it, it doesn't work. So, I will kind of rate myself in the context of what is the subject matter I had and what I made out of it. Did I reach 50%, 60%, maybe more than 100%? But I can't scale it as on a 1 to 10 level. Because see, there is no such thing as a good filmmaker. There are good films. I might make good films and I might make ugly films. So I can't generalize saying as a director 1 to 10 make hai. You know?
So what you're saying is, in this whole body of work, there have been ups and downs. And so marks cannot be given.
Yeah, correct. See, when I'm saying there'll be no good filmmaker. It will be a film which has been made good. So and now say if I'm the director of Satya, I'm the director of Aag also. Now who's the real Ram Gopal Varma? The Aag guy could be the real guy. Satya could be a fluke.
But you know, I was very impressed by you for the first time in my life. Frankly, not with Satya, I would say, but when you came out on day 2 of Aag and you said in an interview, that it was a big mistake.
Yeah.
How many filmmakers do that?
I'll tell you one thing. Lot of directors I meet when their film doesn't work or something, they will say, it's my baby. No, I don't understand that concept. See, as a filmmaker, your responsibility is to keep up the trust which people had, the people who put money, the actors and the technicians, all of them are believing in your vision. And if I failed in my vision, I need to own up for that. You know, I believe a hit film belongs to everyone. A flop film belongs only to the director. A movie like Satya, for example, I can't take credit for that. If I think I made Satya, then why didn't I make it again? You know? So the collective thing of the wonderful performances and the whole, could be the technician, Sandeep, all of them put in the best, and my vision happened to be right. And it worked. So the credit goes to all of them. But Aag also had wonderful technicians, you know, actors, Amitabh Bachchan, Ajay Devgn, all of that. And my vision was screwed up. So they are not at fault because they trusted me, you know. So in the same way, I have to own up when the moment the movie because it's my fault. Yeah.
But एक बात बताइए, जब पिक्चर बन जाती है 2 दिन पहले 4 दिन पहले जब रिलीज होने जा रही है और जैसे कि आप कहते हैं कि कई फिल्में आपकी नहीं चली, you come to know कि
no,
boss, this has gone wrong.
See, it's like this. A lot of people ask me this question, not only about my films, even about other films. No, how can they not know the film is going bad? See, if you're building a film brick by brick, and it is your idea, it is your decision, and as you are making it, you are emotionally invested in whichever way. It's impossible. It's like a parent might not know the flaws of their children like the way the other parents would be knowing. It's the same thing. You're too close to it to see what it is. Second point is also, you won't know, like a commercial film. I recently I was having a conversation with a very big director who did not like KGF 2, you know. So then the film is a blockbuster hit. Okay. So he said, later when I was talking to my writer about some other subject, and I had a doubt, how can this happen? He said, but that is what worked in KGF 2. You know. Now you can't argue, you can argue about the content, you can't argue with the success. So filmmakers go wrong. One is when they try to imitate what is successful, or they will trust somebody, or they will be influenced by somebody else. There are so many factors which can influence. And even if in a film, 10 people are working, 5 people think it will flop. Because they have an idea. If you have 10 people and tell a scene, all 10 people tell a different feeling. A filmmaker, is like a guy who's trying to find his way through the forest. You know, the audience are like a top angle. They are watching it exactly. They know the whole topography.
Yeah.
And why is he going here? He should have gone there.
Yeah.
It's so easy to say.
Yeah.
But the moment you are in the forest and you don't know the way,
you don't
trying to find the way. Yeah. They both are completely different things. This is truth for every filmmaker. I'm not about me.
I want to understand the change in taste which you have developed, which you apparently said in the initial stages that, the way you look at cinema today. You have been mighty impressed with Dhurandhar. I don't know whether you like Chhava. I don't know whether you liked Animal. I want to talk to you about those movies because the cinema is going that way now. I remember Sanjay Gupta giving an interview some 1 or 2 months after Animal and saying, boss, we have to now take the violence to this level. We have to show it this way. Animal has raised the bar. Now, number one is how you look at it.
Yeah.
Number two is many people are not happy with this kind of gruesomeness. And some of us also feel that a movie like Chhava, a movie like Dhurandhar, or even Kashmir and Kerala Files, which you have spoken about highly, are propaganda films. And by propaganda films, I mean that they are films to appease the establishment.
There are two different questions I felt. One is, I do not believe the gruesomeness is what which made Animal or Dhurandhar work. Because see, the point of them, the intensity of the performances and the shock of the characterizations, which obviously is organically dealt with that violence. Without this ability, without this, that won't work. So the director's creating a situation which looks like is justified to that. If that is being bashed on the head by a weight by Akshay Khanna's expression justified that. In terms of what he felt so much about it, it is an expression of anger. Many directors can't create that expression on the actor. They might only talk about the gruesomeness. I'm not talking about anybody specific here, And Animal, see, I feel that the most, I can't say 30 years, 40 years, whatever years. I don't think there's any film came in the last 30, 40 years with the effect of Dhurandhar, Because see, if you look at it, it takes the same template. There is a hero, there's a villain, there's a heroine, there's a hero is working for a cause. But it went the exact opposite of the pan-Indian South films, with constant hero worship and a loud background score and gravity-defying stunts of people flying in the air and bouncing off the floor. And he did the opposite. He thought this is how it will happen, So, because of that, the people have believed in the characters. They're actually talking about them as if they know them personally. I'm talking about the audience, So, and I felt it was an vast extension of the worlds of Company and Satya, where probably they're more realistic in a way, but I think commercializing in a dramatic, realistic style is what which gave it those numbers, So, and then now coming to Animal, I was not to these things. I loved Ranveer's character in the way, the shock of how Sandeep Banga treats. I am not very sure about the overall film. I never connected to Anil Kapoor's and Ranveer's relationship with that. But I feel film is like a person. You don't need to like it as a whole. You might like some things in me, dislike something in me, and that is exactly what happens to the audience's relationship with the film. So Animal shocked me many times. Ranveer was fantastic, and Sandeep's way of treating, if just a cut from the classroom to a machine gun's close-up coming, created more impact than probably a visual of Bahubali could. That is what for me was the take-home factor from there. And coming to Kashmir Files, see, it is gone against. I don't believe all that nonsense. What is propaganda? Eventually, film is propaganda. Any film. It's telling the point of a director of something he believes or something he's made to believe or whatever. That's the truth for every film. But the unexpectedness, a slow-paced film like that can do such numbers was like a huge wake-up call. Now, when they said Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted and the BJP owned it, then I don't think anybody came to see film on Modi. How will the tweet make a film work?
The biopic,
in Chennai, I think it's mostly anti this kind of thing, and it released in the second week. It went from 1 theater to 27 theaters. How do you explain that? And same thing with Kerala Story. I thought it was a fantastic film. By calling it propaganda, you are missing out the point of the film. Or even if it's a propaganda film, I don't care. It's eventually a film is fiction by definition itself. It's not like the audience will think "Sach mein hua" and all that. No true story will be actually fully true.
So what you're saying is that people even refuse to enjoy the film, give it a chance, just labeling it as propaganda. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And they have a preconceived.
Yeah, correct. Like a very well-known writer, I met him 1 month after Dhurandhar released, and I asked him, "Did you see Dhurandhar?" He said, "I don't see such films." I said, "What do you mean? I don't see such film means what?" So he's fixed in his mind, it is some propaganda film leaning to some wing or whatever the hell it is, and thereby you are missing out on the entire craft. Let me say it, it's a propaganda film. And the point is not that. If you make a love story and you're propaganding for the character, or you're propaganding isko dekho hamara hero ko, all South Indian authors, propaganda films, hero worship, eventually their whole target is to make a star get worshipped. Why is that not propaganda?
So, you were saying that you liked Kerala Kashmir Files.
Yeah.
Somebody who worked with you and who was a part of Satya, Anurag Kashyap, you have had a love-hate relationship with him. But before...
See, I love him, he hates me. I don't have love-hate. I never said a single word against him.
And he hates you.
He speaks. Yeah, maybe, hate is too strong a word, but he will say something. He says that about everybody and everything under the planet.
He thinks far more differently than you. He's worked with you. Could you tell us, what were the differences you had with him in Satya and which have still remained in his heart?
No,
and maybe even yours.
Yes, at Satya time there was nothing. Later on, I think he was kind of, when I was making films like Aag, for an example, I thought I lost my mojo and I'm doing films and I'm being isolating myself and not working with good teams. And good teams, in his view, probably it could be people like him. And since he's outspoken all the time and he makes comments on everyone, not only me, and I think that's a part of that.
But I think he wanted Satya to be made in a slightly different way and he kept insisting on certain scenes in the film.
No, we never had an issue because he was just a newcomer. He just came in and it was almost like working like an associate for Saurabh Shukla. Though many times I mentioned which scenes he's written and all that. So at that time, for him to have a difference is not there at all.
No, because I remember reading your code that I told him, this is my film, this is not your film. You put this in your film when you make a film.
I said it like a joke.
How is your equation with Vishal Bharaj?
Yeah, fine. I spoke to him just a couple of months back.
You keep watching his films?
Not all of them, yeah.
He was an integral part of Satya.
Yeah.
I remember you not taking that song from Gulzar. And Vishal had to go and give it back to him on Kalu Mama.
That is not true. See, basically, Vishal said some dummy lyrics, which music directors do when he's making me hear a tune. And I like those lyrics better than what Gulzar Saab wrote.
Okay.
But then again, I thought Gulzar Saab is such a senior writer and I didn't want to disrespect him by not using his lyrics. So I went ahead and finally used Gulzar Saab's lyrics only.
Because it was said that he had to go and give it back and...
No, that's not true.
I'm glad you're clarifying a lot of things in this interview.
Yeah.
It is said that you like to make fun of the media. Is that true?
See, first of all, you can't generalize media. See, Vickey Lalwani is there, someone else is there, earlier times Khalid Mohammed, all of them cannot be grouped together and called the media. It is possible I might have said something to one particular person, depending on the particular context. But how does anyone generalize? I am not film industry. I am just one small thing. So media, Vickey Lalwani is a part of the media. He is not the media. So how can I generalize media and make a comment?
Okay, so whatever comment you made may have been for one person.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is right, but I hear that when you were a child, you used to hear stories of Ramayana from your grandmother.
Yeah.
And you used to find faults in that and ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, that is true.
And somebody on Reddit has also written that your name initially was Ram and you changed your name.
Yeah.
But the Ram is still there. The Ram is still there.
I didn't change my name. It was something else. It is in Telugu. It's called like it's equivalent of a fruit, like Ram Phal. So Telugu is Ram Pandu, Ram Phal. That was the name my grandmother put. But my father, for some reason, he felt when he was putting me in school that might be made fun of or something because in the way it sounds in Telugu. So he changed it to Ram Gopal Varma.
What were the faults you were finding? I mean, do you remember?
No, see, it's like just asking questions about whether why would Hanuman so blindly be, devoted towards Ram. And people, when he left Sita after the allegations, what kind of a man will do that? I used to just be curious in asking these kind of questions. And there's a very, very popular writer called Ranganayakama in Telugu, who wrote a book of another version of Ramayana, where she got lots of these things. So it was that age and that time.
The way you think she wrote.
Yeah, correct.
But did you get convincing answers from your granny?
No.
You say that Hanuman being so loyal to Ram.
Yeah, not that in specific. I'm just giving one example in terms of it was like I was trying to half make fun of her, my grandmother, and I took this because she was so devoted to that story. I used to use that as a tool to get into her.
In the industry, do you see any Hanuman? Do you see any Ram? Any friendship? Any loyalty?
See, for example...
I mean, you had a long career to judge people.
Yeah. No, I feel loyalty is a stupid emotion. See, you're in it for yourself. Why should you be loyal to anyone? Loyal by definition is trying to feel lesser than the other person. See, when they say dogs are loyal, they're loyal because they don't have the wings to be disloyal. They don't have the bandwidth of thinking to become disloyal. And that's about intelligence. Every human being wants to become better than the best. That's the motivation of how advancement happens in an individual. So if you're loyal to somebody, you'll always be lesser than the other person. That's how I see it. Now then, how smart you will use that and
Because when you say this, my mind just travels to the institution of marriage or love, which is crumbling again.
Correct.
Relationships, even love relationships, are only for a few months or a few years. Correct. Marriages are going out of the window even after the couple has lived for 25 years. Do you think that if a man is loyal to a woman also in marriage, he is inferior, he is lesser, he's scared?
I don't know if the context of loyal, I think, is a little different there. In terms of a workplace is different in marriage. Marriage is a question of, you can't make a judgment for someone else's feeling. What he's feeling about her in the experience he's having with her, or vice versa, her with him. That is so personal, an outside person cannot make a generalized comment on it. But I believe marriage is a dead institution, or at least it's on ICU. I think it will soon disappear because people are becoming more and more individualistic and they want freedom. And marriage by definition will curb it to whatever extent. And then the more stronger you are, the less likely you're going to be in a marriage.
I ask you a personal question here. Did you ever feel the urge to get married again?
No, not at all.
Never?
Yeah.
The thought also didn't cross your mind?
No. I think my marriage failed. At least I knew it was going to fail on the third day after the marriage. Yeah.
Third day?
Yeah, third day.
And
I
how
realized
is that?
it was a mistake, And then it took 4 years to separate, or some whatever years, and to officially separate. Because I think in marriage, most of the time what happens is they draw pictures of each other, both in love and marriage. And only when they marry, they realize they were just imaginary and the reality is different.
So who realized that reality is different? You or her?
Depends. In this case, me. Yeah.
When you were sure after day 3 only. That's quite you're making a very loaded statement. On day 3 you realized.
Yeah.
That your marriage won't work.
This is after loving her for 5 years. So the culprit is the marriage. It's not
the man or not the
institution. It's the institution of marriage. It should be hanged, I think.
Did you see Chhava?
No.
Not tempted to see that because that was also in that Dhurandhar and animal space.
Not really. See, I am not into really historical and fantasy films. Not that I won't see, but it's like not of mine.
I ask you a question on Chhava because essentially I want to take you to the next question of me hearing a lot about box office numbers being manipulated. But how do you see this? Because many people tell us, including Manoj Desai in a recent interview which I was having with him, the Getty Galaxy owner, that Dhurandhar, 2 of his friends went. They said it's houseful inside. They went inside somehow. How they got their tickets, he didn't know, but they went inside. There were only 14 to 16 people sitting inside. You must have heard also these things a lot in the industry. Ye kya chal raha hai?
See, my 2 points. First of all, I'm not an expert on these numbers.
Nobody is an expert. Neither am I.
But my point is eventually is a market dynamics. For what reason, if they're doing it, which I don't know, I'm not saying they're doing it. They would have their reasons, in terms of also when you're putting the numbers out, and we are in the kind of a world where everything is transparent. It's not how the process happens. And if it is working for them, I would like to think it's a business practice. See, the people are concerned about whether they like the film or not. And what the numbers they're telling, are they correct or not, for what reason they're telling, the public or the people are not involved. Should not have any concern about it.
But the numbers fool us into an extent of going to the theatre. If I hear a film is doing so well, I am tempted. Number 2, the numbers are also meant to fool the OTT platforms for giving them a high price.
No, see, but they will also know that. See, they will see the books, and eventually, if you are going to say this much, you'll have to pay tax on that. All that is also there. Right? It's not as simple as that. And there are so many tracking systems also independently of the numbers. When everybody is aware of that, no one can fool anybody. You can do it in the beginning, maybe for 1 or 2 films. And if it becomes a regular practice,
you're going to be questioned, you mean?
See, anyway, today we are living in the world of AI. Where everything, you don't know what is fake, what is real. So, an obvious extension will be to everything in life.
Ramu, one more question on your childhood. When you were growing up, I asked you about your granny. But you are so individualistic and you've used the word that I'm selfish. How was your relationship with your parents? Did you tell them, okay, you don't tell me what I have to do. I know what I have to do. Did you find that, did you find that indulgence or, protectiveness as interference?
And I did that. See, like my father is a kind of a man who will never say do this or do that. He just used to just kind of say this is the reality of life, and after that it's your call. That's about the only conversation I ever had with my father. So when I was a bad student. I failed in engineering twice, and then when I wanted to get into films. Obviously, my father didn't believe that. He thought because I was a bad student, I was already got married and I seemed to not like the marriage. So I looked like a failure all over the place. So then me to say I want to get into films, obviously he gave up on me, but he never said it in so many words. So I was doing my own things, and how I finally managed to get a break.
Your mother?
Yeah. My mother, my mother was almost like my father only. She never really talked about whether I should get into films or not. I don't recall any such conversations with my mother.
शायद लगा होगा सुनेगा नहीं,
Yeah.
करने दो इसको जो करना है.
Yeah.
We have to talk about Israel, one of your tweets which you made recently, comparing Indian Diwali celebration to Gaza. Diwali is one day in India, but in Gaza it's every day.
See, I still don't understand what the hue and cry about that tweet was. Because
massive hue and cry.
I know, but the point is, you see all the missiles, the interceptors will be all of hitting in the night sky, and that thing I did on Diwali, I think. So in the Diwali I was sitting and it reminded me of all the videos I saw over Gaza. Rockets flying, interceptor missiles, they're cutting them down and them falling down. It exactly looked like, and it was continuously happening in that time. So I just compared it. I still today don't know what exactly was wrong with the tweet. See, to start with, I don't care about anyone's opinions because I have accepted the fact that there will be opinions. And the whole point of freedom of speech is to offend someone. If you don't offend someone, why should you have freedom of speech? You know? And if you can't express an opinion of what you feel, what's the point? Which is what everyone is doing. It is not like, some people or whatever. Then after that, okay, it's okay. Most of the time, I think they do it for fun. They don't mean it. And they just do it for grabbing attention or whatever. And they come in waves and phases and they keep going away.
So you're saying that, you'll continue to say what you want.
I will do. I'll be exactly
the
way. Yeah.
Freedom of expression.
Yeah.
I want to ask you the next question as something to do with the media. How do you view the media? You view Satya differently.
Yeah.
Years have passed. उस वक्त भी मीडिया थी, उस वक्त भी हम लिखते थे, आज भी मीडिया है, आज भी हम लिखते हैं. Do you feel there's a fear psychosis in the media?
See, first of all, I think media is now dissolved into the social media. I don't see them as separately. Though it might be in their heads that they're different. Eventually, everybody is boiling down to one opinion. Now, if there are 1,000, 10,000 opinions which are available on each and every act, how does it make a difference of who thinks what?
They're a part of the public only.
Yeah, they're dissolved. They're public actually.
They're not standing as
the
pillars.
Public is the media. They're not like media earlier times was a kind of an intermediary between what's happening and to tell the people. I don't think it's that anymore. So if on a Twitter anybody can say, or anybody's Twitter anybody can say whatever, that's a kind of a public opinion, individuals, and they also will fight among themselves and they will change their mind suddenly. That whole boycott Bollywood movement which happened at Sushant time, then suddenly they'll forget it one day.
But I want to know, when you say that the media is a part of the social media, that's fine. So are you telling me that you don't read reviews, you don't consider anything that is written by the media, you don't believe in the stories that you read?
It is not about believing or not believing. I am not in control of anything. Okay. And I've accepted the fact there will be many things which are not to my thing, or what I say is not to their thing. And that I take it as a part of the ecosystem we live in. So when you take it as a part of it, it won't bother you. I don't take this as an unexpected thing. Arey, aisa ho gaya. No, aisa likh diya. Yeah. There's one more opinion I got.
Do you think there is Godi media in the entertainment industry?
No.
People are paid to write reviews. People are paid to write positive features about actors.
I mean, see, I wouldn't be able to say that with certainty because I never seen a transaction happening. But I think human nature, if I can get some exploitation from you and you need me, and why would I not consider that aspect of taking the money? It's human nature. It's a transaction at the end of the day. And transactions are nothing but who needs whom for what purpose.
You mean to say it's fine as long as it's a transaction which is need-based?
Yeah. If you have to pay because you're using the paper to promote your film or promote yourself as a star or whatever it is, and why shouldn't they take their cut of it? What is wrong with that? To suppose that the media is like a pure this and that, and it is only for truth, stands for truth like Satya Harishchandra, That supposition is wrong. The point is, when everything can be monetized and everybody is doing it for a certain purpose, why would you expect one person, and that word itself is wrong, to corrupt or he takes a bribe and writes good things, I think is nonsense. If he writes, that is his business. If he is using his platform to say something good about something, if he is paid, that's his business. That is a part of the promotion package. In today's world, nobody will say, ye ki aadmi sach bol raha hai. So nobody cares about truth. What sounds believable is different from the truth. Then of course they have their own reputations to protect. How much can they do? How much can they do? If it is so obvious that this guy is doing, probably they won't care about it. So that also they need to take care.
Will Ram Gopal Varma ever start believing in God?
No. Because I believe it is not a question of me thinking there is no God. I believe I am inconsequential to God. So my belief in Him is not going to add or subtract anything. I am one of the trillions of creatures, if at all God created or whatever has created. So He will take special attention to me because I send a prayer or I break a coconut. I do not believe that.
So are you telling me that you believe that He doesn't exist, or you are telling me that you do not believe
No. It doesn't matter to me. I'm saying, see, I'm just one of the creatures. I didn't create Earth. I didn't create something else. Would have some power or force or whatever. If you take that as who am I to say something doesn't exist? So then it doesn't make a difference to me whether it exists or not, because my world is only perceived through my senses, what I want to do. And a power which is far superior to me, if it exists or doesn't exist, doesn't make a difference to me. Because I do not believe He would pay special attention to me if at all He exists. So then it doesn't make a difference whether it exists or not.
But कहा तो ऐसे जाता है कि वो सबको देख रहे हैं.
That is, the people who want to believe that, let them. I don't believe.
You have rated Sridevi as perhaps the biggest star. Am I right or am I wrong?
I mean, for me, at the context of, because I grew up on her in my college days, and obviously that's what I felt.
Okay, so for you, if I ask, is Rani Mukherjee bigger than Sridevi?
No, not for me.
Kajol?
No.
Nobody?
See, that's what I'm saying.
The popularity that Alia Bhatt has today?
No. That's what I'm saying. See, they came after I became a director. So I see them as potential actors, good actors. But I kind of looked up to Sridevi because I'm coming from a fan. I'm coming from my college days, where Amitabh Bachchan and Sridevi, I saw them much before I became a director. Today I would gauge them on their commercial potential of today. I will not have the same fan kind of a mind at this time.
I quite understand that.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, where were you exactly on that day when the Sridevi tragedy happened, and what did you feel? How did you react? How did you process?
See, I was sleeping and I have this habit of picking the phone in the middle of the night also to see if I got any messages. And I got a message from a friend of mine whose I haven't met for the last 10 years, So I can't believe Sridevi is gone, the message. So I thought it was, a mistake. He put something instead of sending someone else. It didn't even occur to me he's talking about Sridevi. Then I again slept, and after 2-3 hours I woke up and then there was some 15-20 messages about Sridevi. That is when I realized. It took me, it was very hard for me to believe. Probably it took me around 2-3 days to, because she's been, when we look back in life, only few people who make the difference to us. So for me, Bruce Lee was there, for example, and Sridevi, Ayn Rand. So I can't imagine my life without her 7-8 figures, of which Sridevi was one. So I felt it almost like a part of me went away.
Of which Dawood Ibrahim was one you mentioned. As on Happy Teacher's Day.
Yeah, correct. I did. Yeah.
Tweet of
so
yours.
I was talking about the people who have gone, like Bruce Lee has gone, or something like that. Ayn Rand has gone. And likewise, the same thing goes to, if Dawood Ibrahim was not there, I couldn't have made Satya or company, for example. See, not that they weren't gangsters before or with him or after that, but the fact that he was the biggest brand at the time of that, yeah.
I don't know if this is right, but I read on the internet that after Gulshan Kumar's murder, you were told not to glorify the underworld.
It's not true. See, that time the industry was in the grip of fear because extortion caused left, right. Man, like Gulshan Kumar being shot down, it was a very, very big thing. The industry was scared. So I was the only guy who went ahead and made the film. So no one told me not to make it.
I'm taking you back to Anurag Kashyap.
Yeah.
You said you see a few films of Vishal here and there who worked with you. What about Kashyap? Have you seen his films?
I mean, not all. Some, but I was never really into his kind of filmmaking. You know, I was not like Anurag and me are very different, both as people and as filmmakers. Many films I don't see. I mean, I have a limited time. I'm making my own films, so most of the time I'll watch some foreign films or whatever if I have the time.
Yeah. What's happening to Police Station Mein Booth?
Yeah, that film's done, and even the post production is going on right now. Yeah.
When are you releasing it?
Mostly it will be in May.
May?
Yeah.
Okay. And there was some other film also, we were doing, Syndicate.
No, I'm going to do that after Sarkar.
After Sarkar.
Yeah.
When do you start Sarkar? Oh.
Yeah, sometime in May.
Okay. After
the
Manoj and Janiria film is released. We're talking about Sarkar and I cannot refrain from asking you, Nasir was the original choice for Amitabh Bachchan's role.
No. This was a film which was made almost, I think, in 94, around that time. And I was doing this film with Sanjay Dutt and Nasiruddin Shah. And after Sanjay Dutt got arrested in the bomb blast case, and that was a version, something to do with like Godfather. So after that, we shelved it after Sanjay Dutt got arrested. And then almost 10 years later, Sarkar came in 2005. So again, I made a film based on Godfather. So, but it's not this script.
You never worked with Sadashiv Amrapurkar. You wanted to cast him.
Yeah.
And then when you auditioned him, you were dissatisfied. I think that was for company.
Yeah. I don't know, for some reason, I really fail to get a performance out of no matter which actor, even a new actor. But for some reason, I couldn't make him act in the way I wanted that role. I know sometimes it can happen.
He's still keen to work with you, I guess.
I don't know.
Never met him after that?
No, never met him. Yes, it was very embarrassing for me because I really loved him in Satya. That's one of the biggest mysteries for me. It is not about him as an actor, why I couldn't communicate. And of course, a proven actor is a theatre actor and he's done so many films. And that actually I can count on my one hand fingers in my 35-year career of whether I wanted to change the actor after shooting with him.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
What did you go and tell him?
I can't recall exactly. It's just not working.
You shot with him for a few days?
Yeah, I shot one day.
But you could have auditioned him again or explained to him that the way you want.
No, I tried all that in the course of the shoot, but it was not coming. Absolutely.
Ramu, I want to conclude this interview by asking you a few questions like, how is Ramu at home? You say you live alone.
Yeah.
Now, though these questions may sound inane to you, but I want to still get into your head, and as I've been trying to since we met today, who makes your food? Do you exercise? Do you go for walks? How do you keep your health going?
See, I'm not a foodie. I think of food as something to satisfy the irritation of hunger. The moment I have maybe 2 pieces, if my initial hunger is gone, I feel bored to eat the rest of it. And I don't mind anything. I probably might eat grass also. So that is my opinion of food. And I work out every day to whatever extent. Yeah.
You go to the gym?
Yeah. Not the trainer comes to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
At home?
Yeah.
So food, you have a cook?
No.
Who makes it?
Someone in the office will send me something. That's it.
Achha.
Yeah.
You're not particular.
Not at all. Not at all. For example, I came back to Bombay in maybe around a month back, and every day eat just half a burger, because half burger I'm done, and I don't want to put my mind to it to change the burger. Yeah, instead of burger, get me something else. I would never say that.
You're savvy online for calling things. You stay alone. Hence, I ask you this question.
See, I get into lots of study. I'm very heavily into AI these days, and I follow film technology and new ways of whatever's coming. And I also follow world events like the wars and things like that.
So you're savvy. You call for things.
Yes.
So you speak about AI, Ramu. Can I ask you how much of damage, if at all, it is going to do the industry? Because the industry today is worried about it.
Yeah. I don't know the word damage. I feel any new technology, the only way is to adapt to it and use it as much before it become irrelevant. That's the truth for every technology. But AI, it is much more, because this is the first time in history where the creative arts are being bettered by AI more than humans.
So, आपको नहीं लगता है कि फर्क पड़ेगा?
It will make a lot of differences. Right now, the momentum of sedans, I think all the big 200, 300 crore films are going to be in a huge problem because of that.
Ramu, can I conclude by asking you a few other films which you couldn't hit the box office with? Like Darling, Mast, Agyat.
Yeah.
Were those also in that period when you were maybe dissociated, lost?
No, let me repeat myself. I'll tell from my first film. After my first film also I made flops. So the point is, I never had a conscious this thing of this is what I want to reach. I just felt like making the film and I made it. So whether that worked is an accident or didn't work is my fault. But now my mind is in a different scope. But that proof you have to see after the films come out.
But I'll tell you one thing before I sign off. You may have made a lot of films which didn't run, to be very honest.
Yeah.
But trust me, you are one maker who's known for the films which ran, not for the films which didn't run. Whether it's Satya, whether it's Angela, whether it's Sarkar.
See, I tell you something, that's the truth for every filmmaker. You'll be surprised if I tell you something. Now, Francis Coppola, if you ask anybody on the road, name top 10 directors in the world, I'm sure Coppola's name will be there. Nobody knows he's made 40 films. At the most, you'll remember Godfather series, maybe Dracula, Apocalypse Now, and after that, you'll have to struggle with your memory, which is the truth for everyone, actually, including the guy who made Forrest Gump, Robert Zemeckis, every director for that matter.
I slightly disagree when it comes to Bollywood, because here they, start labeling you as a flop maker once that whole trend starts.
This because you're close. No, I'm saying this because you're close at home.
Yeah. You observe it more.
It can happen in Hollywood also. I am an outsider. No, I remember Coppola for the best films he made. I'm not a part of Hollywood. No, Hollywood industry might be thinking differently.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ramu, for this interesting conversation. It was lovely meeting you.